Hey gang, Sally here Kit. With Kit, he's on this side, he's usually on the other side. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. We're here with something different. I'm going to be trying this. This will be the intro for every single one of these videos. But I've talked to a couple of friends who like my videos. Yay, thank you for that. And they all thought this would be a good idea, so I'm going to give it a shot and see what you all think too. So let me know in the comments down below. These are driving day videos. So I can't promise you you're going to get to see, you won't get to see everything that I was actually going for that day. Um, and these are going to be completely unedited. So what you're going to see is some driving, and then you'll hear me say, GoPro, stop recording. And that's how you know the end of that segment. I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm going to just leave it in. And some of these will be like super long. Some of them won't be very long. They'll probably all be fairly long, I'm guessing. But the deal is I run two cameras when I'm driving, and I'm not recording constantly. I record when I think of something that I want to talk about or when I think the scenery is interesting. And a lot of times I will, when I'm trying to edit a video down, I'll go through and I will edit it down so that if it's just a driving segment, I'll speed it up so you can see the scenery but get through it faster. I'm not doing that. You can speed it up on YouTube though if you want to. So, hope you enjoy this. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate you taking your time to do that. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. If you love this, let me know. And if you don't like it, you can let me know that too. Um, if you can stand to do it, I'd really appreciate it if you can stay all the way to the end, because YouTube really likes it when you watch an entire video, and so do I. And as always, comments, thumbs up, all that good stuff. We're going to roll the intro and get right into it. We had a lovely evening here at the Vernon Downs Casino and Raceway. This RV was here when I got here. When I took my windshield cover down this morning, it was gone, and then it came back again. I have no idea where it went or why. Not that it matters. Oops, I need to go this way. So our first stop today is only 14 miles and 17 minutes away, and that's going to be Fort Stanwix National Historic Site.
Turn right toward New York 31 West, Stolman Road, then turn right.
Which I think is going to be about
turn right toward New York 31 West, Stolman Road, then turn left.
Revolutionary War type stuff. Oh, there's another enormous parking lot over there I could have parked in, which might have been even better. Although this was really nice by the detention pond. Although I bet if I parked over there, there might have been fewer mosquitoes. Hope you love the way I ramble, because if this comes out, it's coming out pretty much unedited. Well, today we're going to Rome, New York. And I think after Rome, I said this yesterday, but I'm not sure I said it correctly. I think after Rome, whatever else we see from here on out is going to be completely new to me. So that'll be kind of fun. And one of the reasons I want to sit for at least another night is I want to get some editing done. Sorry, my nose is itching. Because I only have enough videos loaded to get me through next week now. And I want to get a little further ahead again. And then I also need to figure out some trip planning, because I think I'm going to have to zigzag back and forth a bit to find things to do in all the states that I haven't ever visited before. So I've got like either 19 or 20 days left in my planned time to get to upstate New York. No, upstate Maine. And I think that'll be plenty of time to even be able to sit for a few days and not have to do anything. So kind of my hope is this evening that I'm going to be able to find a spot along the Erie Canal way. And it looks like most of them say you can stay for 48 hours. So I'm going to see how that looks like it's going to work out. the ones that I've looked at so far, the parking areas for me don't look awesome, because they've got like regular parking lots for the canalway, but I've also seen a couple where it looks like they've got fairly open gravel lots that I should be able to get into. So that's my first plan. And my second plan is to push on really far and get to the Cracker Barrel in Stillwater. I think that's still New York. But it's like 104 miles. And just like magic, our rural country road turned into a highway. We are in Rome. I don't know if we're going to do as the Romans do. That's a whole lot of route signs right there on the right.
Turn left onto Erie Boulevard East, then you will arrive at your destination.
Do not stop on tracks. This is probably going to require going around the block or something, because either it's not what I think it is, or Google's directions appear wrong. Let's see if we can figure it out. Yeah, Google's wrong. It's on the right, not on the left. Cool looking old town. Huh. Okay, well. Oh, okay, I see. It's a visitor center. Heritage area. Let's see how good I am at parallel parking and RV. Thought I saw a ramp there. I guess I better get out and look. GoPro, stop recording. We have just finished up our time at Fort Stanwix. It was pretty interesting in that they had all of their, I think that goes through. No, it doesn't. Oh, maybe it did. Okay, well, we're going to try and see some of the cool buildings in, wow, their whole roof is smashed in down there. That's interesting. I want to go get a closer look at that. That's like the whole church is ruined. So we've done a whole lot of things. Yeah, Google thinks I'm making a U-turn here. They can think again on that one. So in addition to the visitor center, which had great displays, we spent a fair amount of time wandering around in the fort itself. It was quite interesting. I think it's the first fort I've seen that had a drawbridge over a big ditch. And when I was talking to the ranger, he said the reason that it doesn't show up like that very often, even though many of them were built that way, is that for the Park Service, it's less pleasing. Yeah, no, we're not doing that, Google. Okay, so look up ahead here. We've got this one church that we're passing. And turn right toward West Park Street, then turn left onto West Park. We got the road closed. Look at the right onto North James. Wow. I wonder what happened. Head northwest on West Liberty Street. I can't even imagine what happened. But that's like half the roof is caved in, and the steeple. Oh, and there's all kinds of debris in the parking lot of it.
Turn right onto West Court Street. Turn right onto West Court Street.
And then, is this from all like the recent rains and stuff? There's a lot of damage here. Huh. This roof's caved in. I just saw another one over to the left that's caved in.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Black River Boulevard.
Here's another one that's tarped on the right. I mean, this whole house doesn't look great. Okay, where's the fire? Okay, they're going that way. Wow, there's it's almost like a tornado came through here. I mean, there was a piece of siding that was twisted around in the wires on the side of the road there. I know there has been a lot of rain and a lot of flooding in the previous couple of weeks, but yeah, I don't know about this. Whoa. Guess I found the curb.
Head southwest on North James Street toward West Park Street. In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Erie Boulevard East.
I'm still going to piss Google off for a minute because I do want to go to the right a little bit and take a look at the rest of the downtown area before we go get on. I think we're going to be getting on the thruway today, which, as we know, is not my favorite thing to do. Oh, well, it looks like there's a fire down there.
Right, turn left onto
Although I
Erie
thought I saw the
Boulevard.
fire engine
Then
come
swipe
down this
right
way.
on Stanwix Boulevard East.
Huh.
Slight right to stay on Erie Boulevard East. Head northwest on Erie Boulevard West.
Well, and with the emergency vehicles, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get into the old downtown. But even looking up here, I mean, there's damage on the roof of this building on the right. Yeah, and there's tarps over the some of the buildings in the mall over
Turn
there.
right onto South George Street, then turn right onto West Dominic Street.
I guess this is not a great day for exploring Rome.
At the light, turn right onto West Dominic Street.
Engelbert's Jewelers. Well, this whole building's all boarded up with tape off around its roof and a couple of big dumpsters. And GoPro wants me to turn right here, but I don't think I can. Let's see, can I get through? Nope. Okay, so we're just not going to really get to see that whole little section of downtown.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto South James Street. Head northeast on North George Street toward Boardman, then turn right onto West River. In 1,000 feet, turn right onto North James Street.
And I can't tell exactly where it's closed off there. Wow, this place is a mess. I'm seeing a lot more tarps and stuff.
Head northeast on North George Street toward West Park Street. Turn right onto West Court Street.
And this is what the rest of the day is going to be like, guys. Just so you know. I don't really have any, I did have a quirky stop plan, but then I looked at it again and decided, eh. So the rest of the day is going to be all about finding a place where I can safely park for the next 2 nights. And what I'm hoping for
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Black River Boulevard.
is to be able to get a site at one of the canal locks looking on the Canalways website, you can stay for up to 48 hours. So that could work out pretty well. Look familiar? Yeah, we're basically driving around in circles now. Oh, I don't think I noticed all of the tarping on this big church over here. Or whatever it is, school or whatever. School. Wow. And church. Just wow. The Oneida County Courthouse across the street to the left is pretty attractive. Here goes another ambulance. It doesn't have lights flashing though, so it may not be involved in whatever this incident was. I didn't see anything that said no turn on red. Wow, I just hit that curb again. What the hell? How do I hit the same curb twice, guys? I really thought I was wide enough both times. Okay, we're going to take the hint and say goodbye to Rome. All roads lead to Rome, but apparently you can't get around Rome very well. But I am glad we had the opportunity to visit here.
Turn left on Erie Boulevard East, then slight right to stay on Erie Boulevard East.
So we're just slightly above half a tank with 200 miles on this tank. And I think we're probably going to end up driving another 100-ish miles today. I am going to be on the lookout for affordable fuel. But the price of fuel seems to have gone up fairly dramatically. So we'll see what we can find. And if I don't get it today, then I'm definitely going to have to get it by the next time. I'd like to get it today because with all of this cloudy and overcast, and it's going to be like this tomorrow, I'm a little bit concerned about getting my batteries recharged without running the generator. So we'll see. And I don't know why I've been so coffee today. Which way am I going? This way?
Slight right to stay on Erie Boulevard East. Continue on Erie.
I'm getting a big batch of spaghetti signs on the GPS saying 0.6 miles straight ahead to 49 east, 69 east, 365 east, 90 east, New York Thruway, Utica. So we're crossing the Mohawk River right now. Actually a town or something of Stanwix. Huh. I had no idea. Well, I said that it would all be new, but it won't all be new because I've been to Utica before. So I guess I'll tell you that story. When I lived in Horseheads, New York, I had a friend nearby that lived up the road and had a horse farm, or whatever you call them in the East. I can't remember anymore. Not a ranch. But she would buy horses off the track, and thoroughbreds, and we trained them as jumpers. And she also boarded horses, and she also showed greyhounds. And she got me into showing my Chesapeake Bay Retriever, so she'd have somebody to go to dog shows with, which was fun. We had a lot of fun. And in fact, we were going to a show in Utica just a few weeks before Westminster that year, which would have been 1989, I think. 1989. When I say it, it sounds like a long time ago. It doesn't seem that long ago to me, though. Anyway, we've been to a bunch of different dog shows, and my dog, Chesapeake Bay Retriever, his name was Ted E. Bear. Every show I entered in, he won for his breed. And we went to Utica a couple of weeks before Westminster that year, and he won for his breed. He won for the sporting group. Not just for his breed, but for the group. Well, fast forward to Westminster, and my friend with the greyhounds had entered 2 of her dogs, and I'm thinking, New York City, I really don't want to try and handle my dog and help her in New York City, so I didn't enter Bear. Well, we got to Westminster, and the dog that he had beat in Utica just a couple of years before, a couple of weeks before, was the dog that won in Utica. So, excuse me. I have no idea why I'm coughing so much today. So despite being slightly disappointing, wait a minute, we've got traffic lights and railroad crossings on the New York Thruway? Maybe we're not on the Thruway yet. Anyway, sorry about all the still. Part of what was really cool about this is that typically when you're showing dogs, you're showing them when they're very young, with the idea being to get them to their championship, to get them finished, so that then you can, sell their breeding services. Well, because my friend got me into it, because she just wanted somebody to keep her company, and I had no investment in terms of, breeding Bear. It wasn't my purpose. When we started doing this, Bear was already 7 years old. How about that? So that's like way old to be showing a dog. And also because, he was a field dog, and we didn't hunt, but we did a lot of field work. We did a lot of hiking around in the fields, and he'd go running off, and he'd crash through barbed wire and cut his face up. So he had scars and stuff. He was, a used dog. And he did extremely well. So that was a lot of fun. So that was my experience with Utica. So I have been there before. And maybe after Utica, that might be the end of places that I've been from here on out in New York. We're not going all the way down to New York City. We'll be going through Schenectady, and that's kind of the worst case scenario. Is Schenectady is going to be the end of the road for us today. Excuse me. Worst case scenario, it's going to be a Cracker Barrel. And I might have to move over to a Walmart or something if that's the case. But I'm really hoping one of these canal lock parks works out. We'll see. GoPro, stop recording. Here comes Utica. Well, while we were sitting at that traffic light, I just moved the outward-facing camera again, because I was feeling like it was obstructing my vision a bit. Being on the, it was further to the inside. And when I tried to set it up before, I couldn't keep the grab handle out of the picture. But I just keep messing around with different angles and stuff, trying to find what feels like the perfect combination. This feels pretty good. My vision isn't obstructed at all. I can see and reach both cameras easily. And I had been running probably for more than a year with a little device that I found on Amazon that allowed me to turn the camera 360 degrees. But because I always have the cameras angled, it really didn't do anything worthwhile for me for the most part. So I took one off. I took the one off for the camera that faces in a week or two ago. And then I took the one off for the camera that faces out yesterday or the day before. And I was thinking that the angle I had chosen was really good, but yeah, wasn't that good. This is better. What's the blue banner say? Utica Boilermaker Road Race start. Okay. That's probably Boilermakers Union and not Boilermaker the drink where you have a shot of whiskey that you drop into a glass of beer. Probably. Could be wrong. Yeah, see, there's a bright yellow tree over to the left. I don't think I'll miss peak season. I might be catching it at the tail end by the time I get up to northeastern Maine. We'll see. We are in Herkimer County now. And Herkimer was the name of an officer who fought on the British side in the Revolutionary War, which I thought was kind of interesting. Pretty windy out today too. Well, I knew that from walking around. Yeah, and it's only 67 degrees outside here. My days of shorts and tank shirts may be ending. We are down to 550 feet in elevation, but looking out at this view, it doesn't really feel like it, does it? At least it doesn't to me. We've got over to the left, which you can't see, I'm sure. We've got some pretty good sized swaths of bright green fields. We got a lot of trees. And the sumac is starting to turn. The leaves are going red. So apparently there's sumac and then there's poison sumac. And I can't remember what poison sumac looks like anymore. But the kind of sumac we're seeing here is a very invasive species that grew all around the backyard beyond the grass, but around the edges of the backyard at my house in Horseheads. And my goal was to have a full-on garden there, which I did, but it took all 3 years we lived there to overcome the invasive sumac. I mean, I was digging it out all the time, and the roots spread like runners, and then you get new trees that pop up from them, and they grow fast, and it's really hard to get all the rootlets and keep it from, you know, continuing. I did have it pretty well under control by the time we moved, and somewhat disappointingly, when I went by the house the other day, there's a little garden in the backyard now, but nothing like what I had. And I think probably because I was growing my garden on land that actually belonged to the golf course. Nobody cared at that point because they weren't doing anything with it. Let's say 319 for gas up there. Bummer. Wish I'd seen that sooner. Oh well. I think I need to pay more attention. And among the more disappointing things for me was I had planted fruit trees, which I think are gone completely, come to think of it now, and asparagus crowns. And I think I planted 2-year-old asparagus crowns and they were just starting to produce the year that we were leaving. So I think they'd been in the ground for a year before they started producing in their 4th year maybe, or 3rd year, I don't remember. So that was disappointing. But, you know, when you're moving on to new opportunities, sometimes you have to leave things behind that you may not love leaving behind. And thinking about that, what am I disappointed at leaving behind in the house that I sold in June? Well, at first thought, I'm going to say, yeah, pretty much nothing. It was a very nice house. I made it very comfortable. But it was still way too much. And the idea of keeping it just no longer appealed to me. And all that stuff. I mean, I come off the road, I'll end up getting more stuff, I know that. But part of what's funny about it is, it'd be interesting to see how fast I do that, if and when that ever happens. As I said, at this point, I got way too much to see, way too much to do. I don't have any intention of stopping anytime soon. Looks like I-Lion to me. It's I-L-I-O-N. GoPro, stop recording. Well, there's a parking area here, which also gives access to this trail that runs along the river. But the parking areas really only look like they're barely two lanes wide. Church, 1,000 feet. That must have some significance. Cool looking. We're about to cross over the thruway, and then we'll have the thruway on our left for a while, and then we're going to cross over it again. But I would much rather be on 5S than the thruway. And I don't know if the entire thruway is a toll road or not. But I really prefer the 2-lane roads. It's just more relaxing. And there's the thruway over there. GoPro, stop recording. So in the stretch that you didn't see, we went from 800-ish feet in elevation down to 400, back up over 700 again. We're back down to 400 and we're descending again. So let's see how low we actually end up. We're less than 2 miles, excuse me, from our first possible camping spot. Museum and Historic Park to the right. Yeah, we're down to 326 feet right now. like we got another cute little downtown coming up. Here in Fort Plain. We got a 5-bar 5G signal out here in the middle of nowhere.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto River Street.
Fort Plain Reformed Church. Look at this cute little main street.
Turn left onto River Street.
Oops. I think I was supposed to turn left there. I was.
Head southeast on Canal Street toward Main Street, then turn left onto Main Street.
It doesn't appear to be a super prosperous little
Turn left
town.
onto Main Street.
But we're going to go around the block and take a look at this canal park and see what we think of it. I have a feeling I'm going to want to move on.
In 600 feet, turn right after start underscore landmark. The gas station in underscore landmark. Right. At the light, turn right onto River Street.
$3.35 for fuel here. Look at the VFW over there on the right.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Oswego Club Road. Turn left onto Oswego Club Road.
Cool looking bridge there. And look, there's the village of Nelliston. I mean, things are so close together. It's kind of crazy. Wonder what the Rustic Crow is. Well, it says dead end.
Your destination will be on the right.
As long as the road stays this wide, there's enough room for me to turn around, I think. Although it may take a little bit. So I'm guessing this is probably not my choice, but it might be. There's lock 15. I wonder if this is the lockmaster's house.
Your destination is on the right.
Well, this is quite pretty, actually. Hang on, Kit. It really is quite pretty. but I don't think we're going to make this the one. I think we're going to keep going. It's only 2:30.
Head southeast on Oswego Club Road toward
So I
Erie
think we're going to
Canal
go see the
Trail.
next one. This is pretty cool though. Well, turning around by this dumpster may not have been my best choice. I don't know if I'm going to make it in a 3-point or not. Let's see. So our next choice is 41 miles down the road.
Head northwest on Oswego Club Road toward South Shoretown.
And I'm pretty sure I'll decide that that's the end of the line. And we're going to cross over the canal on that pretty bridge up there.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto River Street.
And I probably could have made the parking lot work, but it did not look terribly level.
Turn left onto River Street.
I could probably make that work too. And I wonder what's across the street here. Now this is kind of tough trying to see what's coming from the left. Hopefully nothing. Well, he might have to slow down for me for a moment. All right, continuing on
Right onto David Drive.
through the village of Nelliston. Yeah, the canal is very pretty. And there was a fishing access site down there. I wonder if you can camp at those. As you can with the Army Corps of Engineers and others.
Light, turn right onto New York 5 East, Main Street East.
Alright, so we got about another hour to go. Fort Clock, K-L-O-C-K, Historic Restoration. Crispy Crunch, we have cold beer. And their fuel price looks to be $3.25.
Continue on New York 5 East.
Thank you.
25 miles.
Okay. And of course, the other issue I have coming up is that this is Labor Day weekend. Palatine Cheese Factory and Store for sale. I think they are definitely out of business from the looks of it. Is going to be running into next. Below zero ice cream. Oh, must be running into something because the speed limit's going back down to 40. Alright, so let's see what this one is. Oh, we just passed a defunct drive-through. Chopper. Village of Palatine Bridge. What's up, kidster? Palatine Bridge's claim to fame is. Because with all of these small villages and stuff, there's usually something that started them in that particular location. Fort Frey. So that might be how Palatine Bridge got up. It was near a fort, where people could get protection. Block 14 down there. I think we're probably going to end up around Lock 8. That's my guess. Fonda. $317 here. It'd be kind of hard for me to get out of, though. I was going to let you out, dude. Well, this village looks a little downtrodden to me. Not terrible, but not awesome. And then 329 at the more modern looking Sunoco. Hope I don't end up having to spend like 360 or something. Next, GoPro, stop recording. So we're pulling into this parking area for a few minutes, primarily because I want to get more to drink. I'm thirsty. And there's a big marker here we're going to check out. Park parallel, okay. Carry in, carry out, okay. This does not say anything about overnight parking. Can't park on the other side of the road though, which means I'd be sitting here with my slide out in the middle, which would not be awesome. Oh, and once again, we got curbs here that are cut from limestone. I think it's limestone, rather than concrete. Very cool. GoPro, stop recording. The plaque was it was really hard to read actually, but it was commemorating the Mohawk Valley and talking about the confederacy formed by the 6 nations of the Indian tribes, and also about the Erie Canal forging the trade route across. Oh, there's 2 cops sitting in there looking for speeders. So yeah, it was just commemorating historic stuff. But we walked around for a minute. I got some more drink. Not quite sure what that is. Interesting looking. I imagine people speed along here pretty often. I was trying to figure out why it was so warm when it's only, in here, when it's only 67 degrees outside, and I just realized I had the climate control system turned off completely. It's like, yeah, let's at least put the vent on. So we've got 31 miles to our next lock location. And I just got out and walked around there and, had to swat at probably half a dozen mosquitoes in the minute and a half that I was standing still. Hopefully none actually got me. And once I get stopped, I'm going to be really ready for dinner. And what I might do is look at, can I find another spot that I'll be able to stay through Labor Day, just in case. Although I don't think I'm going to have any problems because, oh wait, I'm living in parking lots this month, apparently. And I'm not really not complaining about it. I'm not loving living in parking lots, but it's not terrible. And from my perspective, it's way better than paying to sleep in an RV park, especially when sleeping is the only thing I'm going to do. And the lock location where we stopped earlier really was quite lovely. I think from the research that I did that was probably the best looking location with the most grass, but whatever, we'll see. We'll see. GoPro, stop recording. Fonda Fair 8, 28 and 29, that was yesterday. So I guess we don't need to expect delays. No idea what the Fonda Fair is. Cascale windows, established 1947. Another cute little downtown. Another building that looks pretty decrepit on the left there. $3.29 for fuel here, $3.39 credit, I guess that was. That would be a pretty tight station for me to get into. That red truck up ahead of me is stinky. Scenic byway. So I guess that means nothing to see here any longer. Once again, they got their houses right up on the street here. And then we've got these townhouses on the right that are probably, what, 70s, I'm guessing? I like the color of that blue house right there with the black roof. That's very pretty. And among the best looking houses in town. Fonda's not looking too prosperous either. Okay, so next up will be Amsterdam. Wow, look at this retaining wall on the left. Holding back the hillside. So what is it, 8 miles to Amsterdam? We'll see what that looks like. Oh, this is interesting. They put all these nice green awnings over the windows, but the house itself is kind of falling apart. Maybe it's like the Stephen King book, Christine, where they start doing things randomly and it just regenerates itself. Hard to say. GoPro, stop recording. Passed through Amsterdam, and now this is New Amsterdam, which we're not actually driving through. Didn't get to see a whole lot of it because basically the road ran right by the railroad tracks and the town was on the left-hand side, kind of up the hill. This appears to be a Amtrak track. I saw a sign a while back that indicated that. Okay, and now, so we had 55 miles an hour for about a mile and a half, and now we're back down to 30. I guess we get to see a little bit more of the town. I don't see a price for fuel. Oh, it's on top of the pumps. $3.39, I think. This is the Calvary Assembly of God on the left there, looking like a school or an administrative building. Oh, and to get to my next destination, it looks like I might have to get on the actual thruway in 11 miles. We'll see if I'm interpreting that correctly. In the meantime, we're getting to see a little more of Amsterdam. There's a little mini Statue of Liberty to the right. It's kind of cool. And road work. Well, not exactly. They could have put that sign a little further out here. $3.49 for fuel here. what's next. GoPro, stop recording. Well, here's a nice view of the canal. And a nice looking park over there on the other side, which we can't get to. Cool. GoPro, stop recording. So what do we have here? Fire department. Oh, looks like his motorcycle burned up. That's a shame. GoPro, stop recording. Well, we don't have to get on the thruway, so yay for that. We are, however, on an interstate. We are on 890 East, heading towards Schenectady. But apparently we're only going to be here for a couple of miles. We're getting off at exit 2. Exit 1 was the freeway. So 3.5 miles to our next destination, which will be backtracking from our exit. But there really wasn't any other way to get here. And I'm kind of hopeful we're going to like this one, because I'm pretty tired and very hungry. So we'll find out. GoPro, stop recording. So now we're going to start our backtracking
Continue for 1 mile.
to go see our canal location. And hope that it's going to be lovely and have a good signal. Let's think good thoughts. So we've driven about 93, 95 miles today. Actually since Rome, so it's been a little bit further than that. There's a Canal Trail parking lot. I could probably park there. But I'm hopeful that this is going to be super cool. I'm hopeful. Lock 8, straight ahead. Oh good, there were 2 cars behind me and they both just turned off at that past street. I was afraid we were going to be fighting for parking spaces. Assuming there is parking down here for me. Let's hope so.
1/4 mile, turn right.
I can see the Canalway Trail over to our right.
Turn right, then you will arrive at your destination.
Lake Erie Canal, Lock 8.
You have arrived.
Parking area for your convenience. Keep it clean. It says it's a rest area. But we're like right under high tension lines. That's not necessarily super awesome. Let's see what else it says. Trail etiquette. I don't see any no overnight parking signs. But I have to say, I'm not really loving this. How about if I park along the edge right here? How's this? Does this make me feel better? Well, let's just see. GoPro, stop recording. So, walked around here. It's really very lovely. Hope I don't regret deciding to move on, but we'll see. It
Turn at Mohawk Hudson Bike Hike Trail, Mohawk Hudson Bikeway, then turn left onto Rice Road.
but I decided I'm going to move on and check out lock number 7, because that gets me even closer to my destination for the next thing I want to go see in a day or two. So when I pulled it up on Google, it said open, closes at 9:44, which I thought was interesting. But then I went back to the New York Canal System website, and it says, nope, primitive camping is available, so I'm hoping I'm going to be fine. And if I'm not, my fallback position is a Cracker Barrel. Not my first choice, but you know, we'll deal with it. So it's only, well, it's 11 miles away, even though it said 7.5. Probably as the crow flies. 11 miles and 18 minutes. And I hope this is the one, because I was hungry quite a while ago. Now I'm really hungry. Oh, they got a solar farm right there. I didn't notice that on the way in. So we're going to get back on the 890 freeway.
1,000 feet, turn left.
Oh, and Garmin seems to think that you could have slept in that little pull-off to the left there for the trail. Which you probably could have. Would have been kind of tight for me. But probably could have.
Continue for half a mile.
And the sun's coming out for a little bit, comparatively. So the solar's up over 80% right now. And as long as the sun stays out, it should start picking up fairly quickly, because it's had enough time to recharge the lead acid batteries. See, I was busy getting up to speed only to slow down so I can get back up to speed again. That's a very strange interchange. Okay, so we got 4 miles on the freeway and then we get off and try again. Oh, and there was a casino here too. Schenectady, I guess. Maybe? Yeah. So apparently we're not going to be seeing too much of Schenectady. Ooh, pretty buildings over here to the right. General Electric. Huh. Boy, that's a big GE complex. And I bet it's been there for a really long time. Alright, so we're going to just keep running and see what else we get to see of Schenectady. Temperature has gone from 67 outside to 76. I feel a little bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's like, nah, that one's too far away, even though it's really pretty. I don't quite want to park under the tension lines at this one. Hopefully the next one's going to be just right. And Schenectady seems to be hidden behind the trees. Now we're already entering the town of Rotterdam. Troy. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think Troy, New York is the home of Troy lawnmowers and all of that stuff. Could be wrong, but I think I'm right. And I have been to Troy. Okay, so we haven't quite reached the limit of everything I've seen in New York State previously. Traffic coming up. This is kind of like the most traffic we've seen. Okay, and now we're back in the city of Schenectady. There's a Home Depot. I am kind of keeping my eye out for a gas station. Well, there's a mobile station inconveniently located on the other side of the road. And a Citgo up here on the right that I'm not going to be able to get to. So that lane change may not have been in my best interest. .337 at the Citgo. I remember traveling with my mother as a kid, and whatever it was that we were on the lookout for, this may be where I got the not stopping thing from too, like a picnic area or something like that to stop at. My mother would, or maybe it was my father, I'm not sure which, or it might have been both of them. Oh, there'll be another one. And then we'd have to wait some interminable amount of time, it seemed to me as a kid, before we ever actually got to stop someplace. And if I had decided not to check out the other two lock locations, we probably would have been here, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes ago. Which is more to my liking in terms of when I stop for the day. But, you know, I'm exploring. I wanted to check out what the whole lock scene was really all about. And apparently, a number of places along the canal, there are places where you can tie up and walk up into towns. Be able to walk to restaurants and stuff like that. Which is very cool. Rotro. That does not look good at all up there with all those flashing lights. I see ambulances and maybe fire engines. Like a lot of them, but maybe it's just the way they're parked. No, that looks bad. That's a van on its side and a car facing the wrong direction. That's definitely not good. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I don't know if you're getting a view of it or not, really. Maybe a little bit. There's a baby seat on the ground. That's not good. Well, let's hope for the best. Definitely heavy traffic through here. House here on the right, Sikh temple. Yeah, those guys going the other way are going to be backed up for a while, I imagine. no signs for this one. Oh, because Google's taking me on a special shortcut apparently. I think
Head southeast on Troy Road.
we're going to take the other route.
Head southeast on Route 70 Troy Road toward Onondaga Road.
Yeah, because it gave me a message that said similar ETA to stay on the main road. This gas station doesn't. Oh, there it is. 369, I think that said. See, the prices are all over the place. And one of the things I don't understand with both my GoPro cameras are now not charging, even though they're both plugged in. It's like they keep losing their connection to the charge port. Kind of weird. And now it feels like we're out in the middle of, you know, suburbia heading toward rural land. It is not telling me similar ETA now if I continue straight, but still no signs. So I don't know, guys. This could turn out differently than I'm hoping.
Continue on Mohawk Road for half a mile.
But I'm hopeful. We'll see. I think I'll let you skip the rest of suburbia. GoPro, stop recording.
Continue on Lock 7 Road for 3/4 of a mile.
So we just saw a sign for Lock 7 Road just as we turned onto it here. That was the first sign we've seen. I think this was another case though where Google was trying to save half a mile. And I'm getting warnings from the Garmin GPS about 6-ton weight limits. And then there's just X's in front of me on the Garmin. That's kind of weird.
Say a command.
Wow, we're like in a swamp here, right next to us. So this could turn out to be like super buggy. Parking area right there, but I don't love it. So I think we're going to go all the way down to the lock just to see. This on Google Maps and it looked fine, you know, on satellite view. So hopefully it is fine.
In 1,000 feet, right to stay on Lock 7 Road.
We do have a good signal.
Slight right to stay on Lock 7 Road, then your destination will be on the right.
I think I like it. Okay, so we got parking right there. And what's down here?
Your destination is on the
okay, kid. Settle down. Oops. Okay, I think we're going to go back down to the other end so I don't have to park crosswise here. I think I like it. I can do it without being directly under the high tension wires, I think. Reasonably level, maybe. What do you think, guys? Not very level. Yes. And I gotta go back the way I came here. So I don't back into the tree. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get the lock view out my window. I think I'm going to have to face the other way.